Hanzo arrows were just amazing that game.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things about Hanzo that, you know, the team that's playing against him has to always keep in mind is that potential arrow. Even if you think, okay, well, Hanzo's so far away he's too far away to do any real damage in a fight. For example, you're like, okay, he's not a threat. We can move in here now, and we're not going to take too much damage from him. You always have to remember that even before play of the game at level 20, he has the ability to really change a fight. And the further away he is when he hits you with that arrow, the longer you're stunned. So that gives him more time to rejoin the fight, do that extra damage.
And we did see that pick on Cursed Hollows here, but we're back to us. Seems like there's a little bit of problems that they have to continually fix and, you know, let the games run smooth as it did in the first game.
Sure.
So, you know, Cursed Hollow, how do you see this picks coming out here?
Well, it's another map that really suits Supernova's playstyle in terms of globals. But, you know, we already saw that that's not the approach they took on Sky Temple. And Dahaka was banned. I expect that we will see another Dahaka ban from GLuck. They did their research. They know what they're up against here. They've already fought this team once and took it to a game 5. So I think that if given that opportunity to take the Dahaka pick, they will take it. Another factor, though, is will Whitemane make it through the draft again? Will she be banned in place of Diablo, for example, who was banned instead? Sergeant Hammer was banned by Supernova last time instead. Will Whitemane take one of those first 4 ban slots? That's something that I'm curious to find out.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, finally, GLuck had a little bit of a taste with Whitemane coming out, going up against Whitemane. I don't know if GLuck decided that Whitemane was the problem or not, but we'll see if that was the case in the ban picks as we go into it right now.
So Dahaka will be first banned, so this is, again, just really good preparation by GLuck against Supernova's map picks 2 in a row. Genji remove, that's just, you know, put a sticker on your screen where that ban spot is. It's never going to change. So now the question is, does Whitemane take this ban, or will we yet again see Diablo? You know, that's the question that GLuck is asking themselves right now. The timer has been reduced to 4 bans since 3 bans are introduced, but they take Hanzo away. Hanzo, very powerful for boss clear timing on this map. Like, he wipes it so fast. There's 2 bosses. He's such a huge factor. But now GLuck, with this Hammer ban, they have the opportunity to, if they really feel it's strong enough, first pick the Whitemane, and they will do just that.
All right, so they do take away the Whitemane this time. We'll see how Supernova reacts to this. And just keep in mind, Diablo is alive. It's not banned here. Will Supernova take that Diablo?
Now, one of the things about Diablo is he does better on maps where the lanes are really close. So, say like in Infernal Shrines, Tomb of the Spider Queen, even Dragonshire in the 4-man rotation. On this map, because the distance is so wide and he doesn't have a ton of sustainability on boss point, I think he'll take less priority. We will see the Muradin taken instead with Raynor now, who's able to sneak through this ban phase.
All right. We do see the Raynor ban a lot, most of the time.
Yes.
And this time around, we do see a Whitemane who we thought could have been one of the bans that constantly came out today, but we see Whitemane 2 games in a row, and finally in the second game we see Raynor here.
So last map, in the 3rd ban for Supernova, they removed the Garage. That's going to be moved up in priority here by GLuck instead this time so that they can get it for sure. He's insanely sustainable on boss points. Junkrat can disrupt the boss point as well with his concussive mines, and I'm liking what GLuck is building here. Supernova's ban here is now a difficult one as well. Might just simply be the Thrall, because that's so powerful in this situation. But it's Maiev instead. With Junkrat's Riptire to pair there, it's a bit scary.
It is. Maiev has been coming out consistently as well on the ban phase as well. The last ban on GLuck. See what this will be here. But wow, the picks that GLuck is going with actually is pretty scary right now. We'll see. Oh, Deckard is banned.
Deckard gets banned here. He's the best support in the situation, especially with Malfurion's nerfs that have happened a lot recently. He's just not, he's not the one you want here. You can use him, and even Rhaegar is something that Supernova is probably thinking about right now. But I think Yrel being open here this is a great opportunity to grab her and kind of flex your second DPS for last. Maybe take Yrel with the support, and it will be the Malfurion. So they're kind of trying to decide which DPS fits the situation most after GLuck will finish off the draft.
Yeah, Supernova definitely has that last pick waiting for them to see what GLuck picks for their last 2 picks here. See, I'm wondering if GLuck will still go with that one or solo support with white main, or maybe they'll show us a double support here this time around.
Well, with a hero like Junkrat, I just don't think double support's going to really be viable. He just doesn't have enough consistent auto attack, damage there. So they'll take the Phoenix here once again with Blaze. Very common pairing. And now when you look at this final pick, I think even something like a Cassia is very strong here against Phoenix. But it may just be the Thrall because he's just he's so powerful at setting up CCs. If you catch the white main, she can't heal. You get her out of position. You prevent her from using her heroic. There's a lot that he can do. But it's no chat Sliming, man. He wants it today.
Yeah, Hanzo is banned. They probably wanted to go with the Hanzo Leeming, but Hanzo is banned. They're going to just take the Rainer Leeming here. And, this may just work out because, they do have the Uriel. I love Uriel. So, I always point out on the side of the team that has the Uriel pick on their side. Uriel and Malfurion, even though you do talk about the slight nerf here, but Uriel, Malfurion, Uriel, white main. I think any support with Uriel on the team as the front line with Murden or even a noob, it's just an unstoppable composition with just those 3.
Even if you have a new player, in the front, it's unstoppable.
All right.
If you have a noob rock or actually just any noob, yes, it is in fact.
Any noob.
Any noob will do, as long as you've got the right heroes. So, well, I agree. I think Uriel is. Yeah. It's funny because when Uriel was first released before she was buffed significantly and changed, she was still seeing a lot of play, and then when she got buffed, it was like, uh-oh, this hero might actually have been over-buffed. And she's kind of got this permanent place now in the pro scene, and she's one of the more interesting solo laners we've had in terms of mechanics and how she works. So I really like seeing her and just casting her. I'm kind of biased in that way. But look what we've got. We've got Martyrdom at level 1, actually, for white main. So she's not actually doing the Clemency at level 1, so she's not going into, the build that's more standard right now. She's going into the Q build.
She's taking a different approach here. And
it increases your healing a lot, but it's still tough, I think, when you're solo support. Mana can become an issue.
We'll see if that will be the issue this game here with the different approach that the white main is taking here. Rainer, I love this Rainer. The last time I casted, Rainer was nowhere to be seen. Finally, you do see some Rainer here. I want to see how powerful he's been buffed to or remade.
Yeah, the thing is, once Rainer became popular, there was a historic series last split where Miracle was able to defeat Genji because they prioritized Rainer a lot. Miracle gave him the Rainer pick and they figured out how to counter it. Before that, everyone thought Rainer was the strongest hero ever of all time. Yeah. And then people eventually figured out, okay, if you draft him too early, people can blow him up and heavily commit to CC, for example. But on this map, you still have to consider the bosses, and that's what GLuck did with their composition. So Rainer gets away with being picked here because I don't think that there's a great way for GLuck to just simply catch Rainer and kill him. I mean, Rockstar could try his best, but otherwise this is really just going to be Rainer can get free damage done at a safe distance. And that's exactly what Bentham is going to be trying to do. He can also clear bosses quickly, not as quickly as Hanzo, but Rainer's doing these camps right now because he's just got such heavy DPS. Like, watch this. Goodbye. The Wizard is going down so fast, and Alex is just over here to pocket him.
That's too much damage. Hit there.
It's insane. And he just, cues them when they're lined up. Meanwhile, Myson over here is like, wish I were Rainer.
Here we go, but Rainer is definitely not the point of this game here. We do see the white main back-to-back, so we'll see how GLuck decides to approach with this white main pick here, because Supernova, they did a pretty good job with the first white main ever on HGC.
Yeah. So the tribute is slightly GLuck favored. It is blue side. However, Supernova has a comp that can poke really well with Malfurion and Li Ming, so it's not going to feel too bad that it is on blue side because they have a lot of ranged ways to disrupt the channel. So I think it's going to be very telling how Supernova wants to approach this based on Uriel in the top lane. Does she come down early and sit mid, or does she stay up there? Because if she stays up there, then it's going to be Supernova looking to poke this down.
Right, they're going to try to push this out a little bit before they approach the tribute here. Oh, that's easy.
Collapsing up here looking for a fight because this is actually doing so much damage, forcing Rail down mid. So Supernova actually needs to channel this fast.
They're actually just, it seems like they're just going to give it up because they're not approaching this.
Yeah, they prioritize the wall here in mid for experience rather than that. But now they're going to get caught with mice in here. That was a close call.
That was definitely close.
When the dust settles, I think this is actually still better for Supernova. They didn't lose any part of that wall. They didn't lose any experience, minus like maybe a few minions in the top lane right now, maybe like 2.
Yeah.
And they got the tribute. So I think Supernova walks away with this after a really quick decision to channel that tribute, feeling very good, especially because the second tribute here is red side now, so even further favored in their position.
Yeah, Supernova definitely just kind of waiting for this tribute to come out. They're not going to give up any tributes because, like you said, Wolf, they have that advantage with that first tribute just coming in without losing too much. And now we see the Blaze and the Euro coming down. They're definitely going to just contest this and go through with the team fight here.
Yeah. So this is going to be, in a longer fight, something that KCB is going to feel the mana pressure in. They have the positional advantage and they have so much ranged poke right now. Here comes the rotation down from Asgard. Bentham's caught. Close call there. That's Rainer's weakness, man. If he gets stuck, then there's no way out.
Out. They have to regroup here. They're kind of split up. No chat wanting to do that free damage on the side here. Going in. Oh, damage.
Notice how little healing KCB is able to really put out burst-wise because he needs to manage his mana with the desperation stacks coming through. Asgard's caught. And now look at KCB's mana getting lower and lower, and he just can't sustain everybody. The longer fight is actually going against him. Roxer's caught.
Get picked off.
That's resets. Look at KCB, dead, no mana.
Yeah.
And this is why I personally feel the Q build is just not going to be good in a situation like this because he was keeping everybody healed slowly as best as he could, but with all the leaming pokes, like eventually he has to burst somebody. Then he runs out of mana, so everyone gets worn down. Supernova wins the fights to get the resets there. And yeah, I mean, that's a big problem.
Definitely, and we were talking about how if GLuck may go with that double support, but picking out that Junkrat, like you said, it's not going to allow them to do that, but that Q build on the white main, it could work out with the double support, but being a solo support here on this side in this game, it's not going to be good because you guys definitely did see that mana just swooping down and disappearing and unable to sustain any of his teammates, and 2 of them just getting picked off here.
You just have to manage your desperation so well with Q, and it's not easy. This is not going to be an impactful stun. It's just trying to prevent Haven from getting information about boss. He's trying to find out if GLuck's trying to do a sneaky little boss here before 10, but after the other members showed themselves, Supernova now feels comfortable that that's in fact not the case. 10's up for Supernova, so they could actually just make a boss play, ignore the tribute. That may be what they're looking to do. Nice toss by Roxer to save KCB. Body blocks. Oh, the Banshee over the wall.
Wow.
That's a dead Garrosh, I think, but he's got a lot of armor, so maybe not.
Yeah, the armor and the Junkrat coming out from the bottom. Supernova still going for that tribute. You see Arrow kind of hovering over that, but Phoenix is going to contest him with Blaze here.
Yeah, Blaze is actually leaving him alone because he wants to get 10. Like, that's how desperate they are for 10. This may just simply be Curse.
It is.
No chat's alone, but it doesn't matter. Oh, man. And they're still going to trade up here. The GLuck is falling apart, unfortunately, at the moment ending. It's just not... They're not able to make a decisive play here in a really tense moment for them where they don't have 10. They have to be aware of the boss. They have to be aware of, the tribute rotation for Supernova. And in all these moments, the one thing they do commit to is trying to kill No Chat. Yeah. And they fail to get him, and they're going to try again.
So they're going to try.
Ooh, that wave of force actually saves him.
It actually does, and No Chat does live. This is definitely not going well. If they did get that pick off onto No Chat, it could have kind of, slowed down the deficit and the gap between them, but not being able to pick him off, this, well, is definitely going down here at bottom.
Yeah, you're certainly right. I mean, if they pick him off, there's so much less damage output, so the structures don't take as much damage during this period, but as he does survive, top fort goes down without anybody there. bottom fort here is not going to last much longer. 10 seconds left on the curse. They're going to look for a fight. They do have 10 now. Taunt just defensively. No Chat has no fear here because he knows he's about to get a reset on KCB. Because again, look, no mana. Yeah. He's already used everything, so he just has to back off.
Yeah, so, you know, it's good enough for White Mane to kind of sustain 1 or 2 maybe. And then after that, if you burst out, then you're going to have no mana, as you guys just saw there. You could keep your teammate alive, but during a 5v5, a team fight, it's not going to happen when you split up that heals. It's not going to sustain everybody. It's not going to be able to keep everybody alive, and they're going to go for that boss here.
Yeah, it's insane what White Mane can do with healing output. Yeah. Like, it's crazy, but there's a big trade-off, right? I think she's a super well-designed hero personally, and I think she's probably one of the hardest supports we've had since like Piano Uther back in the day to really maximize what she's capable of. But at the same time, you know, that's why the more W build exists, the Inquisitor build exists, so you can get that mana back. And it's tough to play, but it's more well-rounded. This is burst heal, but it's only temporary. And in this meta, Uther is not really a viable support in most cases unless you're running a Genji, right?
Yep.
Because he has similar problems with mana and burst heals, but no sustain heals. When you play the Q build, you play White Mane like Uther, and she has the same issues. And so, unfortunately, it's just not working out for GLuck at the moment.
All right, they're just going to pressure top here. Did you get that CC? Both jumped out. Pretty safe. They're going to open the door up here. The boss is still pretty healthy here.
Yeah, boss is going to take this keep out easily. And they're going to actually look for more here. This time it looks like they're committing, which they did not do on Sky. Ooh, big salvo though. Armor here, helping keep everybody alive. Haven's so low.
And he's still alive. That salvo looked very good, but the armor and the...
It's not over yet though. Kirisaku dropping low, has already used his heroic. Overlord is the target. Okay, they are going to keep this alive. Really nice use of the Scarlet Aegis here by KCB in that fight, just preventing Supernova from getting those last blow-up kills, setting that into the salvo attack there. And, you know, during this time, GLuck gets a fort for free because they traded bosses.
Yeah, but it's just a fort, and, you know, they lose their fort and keep at top.
Yeah.
And this, you know, this is the best they could have done, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
it's bad, but it's like, it could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse.
It could be worse. So they're also going to gain tribute advantage now.
Yep.
So, you know, the next step for them is to try to get Curse Point, try to take the second tribute before Supernova has 16. That would be ideal. Easier said than done, of course.
It may not happen that way, but they are kind of pressuring this with the Night Camp at mid. You see Eero kind of coming together from bot.
Because they have a structural deficit as well, they can catch up in experience very quickly by just grabbing these cannon towers if they can get the support. I mean, they won't, but if they could, you know, they're getting closer to that and getting that catch-up experience. So look at this. This is the window they were looking for, pre-16, to try to take this tribute. That puts them in a position to threaten Curse, which can turn this whole game on its head. So Supernova needs to be decisive here. No Chat, very greedy right now.
Trying to soak up, and they will get 16 here, but we'll see if Super...
Coming.
He knows. Buried it in the middle, provided that information. Keeps No Chat alive, and they do hit that 16.
It almost feels like Supernova just outplayed GLuck macro-wise right there. They baited a rotation down with No Chat. He escapes. That gives them positional advantage on the tribute. And not only that, No Chat being down there to get that extra wave got them 16. So, like, they covered all their bases there. They caught up to 1-1. Was it incorrect to try to kill No Chat? Maybe in the grand scheme of things, it might have been better to group up around the tribute, try to maybe get a pick or force a fight while No Chat was away. But I respect the choice GLuck made. It just didn't work out for them in the end.
Definitely didn't get to move this camp as well. You know, Supernova is just taking so much advantageous moves here with the shot calling, taking everything, and now they're going to get the second tribute and probably not contested by GLuck here.
Yeah, it doesn't look likely. I mean, they just can't. They don't have 16. They have to deal with these catapults over here. As you can see, Junkrat in the bot lane is just soaking up that extra experience. They're just trying to fight with, you know, both hands in front of them. You know, so right now they're fighting with one hand tied behind their back, so they're doing everything they can. They're fighting just for that chance to have an even fight. And I know it sounds tragic, but that's just the reality of this game right now.
It is, and you know, it just seems like GLuck, they just want to hit that 16 before they get into a team fight, and that's definitely the right call to make. They'll hit 16 very soon, but they're going to have to do something before Supernova gets that 20.
Yeah, bosses will be coming up in about a minute and a half, so, you know, there's a small window. It's actually even closer than I thought, 40 seconds here. There's a small window where they both have the same talent tier. If they group around boss, they could look for a fight here, but they have to prevent this tribute first. And Blaze being in top isn't going to be helpful for them.
With Overlord having to kind of run away here. They're getting pushed back here away from the tribute, which will give them the positional advantage for Supernova for this next tribute. And like you said, Wolf, this is not good if this tribute and Supernova gets this second curse here.
Yeah, Blaze was staying top to get that 16 and came down a little bit late. Look at Haben, he's just buying time here. So this fight is GLuck's last chance in this game, and it has to be now. It has to be a good fight. It has to be a big salvo. Or this game is over. Supernova goes to match point.
So, nice stun going in here. Haben obviously not going to die yet.
Roxor's caught. He can't get in the bunker here. He has the extra armor.
Not looking too bad for GLuck here, but they did get pushed back, and the sustainability coming in.
KCB is just trying to do what he can to keep everybody healed up. He's already used his armor, so now he's going to get a little bit mono-starved in this fight.
Oh, now they're coming in. Salvo does go out. It's not going to land too much. Roxor.
Surviving the Riptire is really huge here. If they could actually get one kill, it could turn everything around. Overlord is going to blow them up here. Huge opportunity. Now finally for GLuck.
Wow.
This is their fight. They finally were able to make it work. KCB on the last of his mana here is going to keep Asgard healed up. But this is going to be a full team wipe. Wow. Really well executed here. Very nice re-engage, using the Riptire there, knowing that even though everyone was low, they had the burst damage potential there. Phoenix could clean it up. That was well played. GLuck turning things around here, tied up the tribute count very frantically now. We do see the top lane cleared by Asgard, but
wow, that was a great team fight. They did get pushed back early on and force it off. You know, Supernova did force out that early bunker, but after that, the salvo and the Riptire just doing so much damage to everybody on the side of Supernova.
GLuck makes a really high-level choice here. They look to start the boss, but instead, they decide to grab experience and push this lane. They know with the respawns coming through, they will probably be able to, with this pressure, with the Siege Giant camp, gain the cannon towers down so the boss can be more effective. And then further their experience lead they have now from the catch-up experience they've been getting from these structures now and the team fight they just won. Now they have the ability to take this boss right before Tribute to push Supernova away and then get 20 first. So GLuck has, with this small decision to even take the Siege Giants, really push themselves further ahead.
We're going to have to do this boss fast and just go up there fast because Tribute is coming out soon. They did get that Night Camp. Roxor here.
He has to be here.
If he gets picked up.
Yeah, that's the scary part. He's got a lot of armor.
He does, but will he? Ooh, look at that burst getting in.
Scarlet E just so effective here, and he's got his base 40 armor there as well before that even happened, so he's staying alive. The bunker being baited out, though, is a big problem here.
It is. Tribute is finally out here.
Riptire and Salvo can be very effective, but they're just zoned out. No Chat gets this for free as they just cannot find an angle. They had a lot of cool combos they could use for a fight if they could get into position, but they could not. The boss is irrelevant here because Supernova is looking to end the game right here, right now.
Definitely, and you know, Roxor being there, trying to get that information for his teammates, almost getting picked off, forcing that bunker out, and that burst heal from KCB kind of pushed them back. Zero just coming out.
Okay. Boss here is going to take out the bottom keep, but again, this is the game-winning play for Supernova. That's what they're looking for. 30 seconds left on this curse still. They need to make this worth it, though. They need to get kills here. They need to actually commit. They need to fight this 20s against them, but they're back off. And you know what? Because they couldn't actually force a fight, even though they had a heroic advantage and they had curse, they actually lost this trade. The boss killed the keep. And now they have to fight over their boss with 20 against them.
Exactly, and they're so far away from 20 right now. But, you know, GLuck is not going to allow them. Here we go. Either way, Murden goes in. The bunker is put down.
Massive armor up to 75 there after the Aegis comes out, but it's all expired now. Supernova need to turn this fight around now. The heroic advantage.
Yep, they're going in though. Not looking good. Phoenix doing so much damage by himself. Not contested.
Oh, this
salvo.
is it. That's so much damage. They have to back away. And now GLuck could just posture around the boss, I think. They have the 20 advantage still. Supernova has to go tap. The problem for GLuck, the big challenge they face is the catapults that are on their core, because they can't boss while those are there. Someone has to go back. Supernova, nobody died.
Second catapult is coming in. Junkrat is here. They're kind of split up. They want the boss's information as well as they have to defend the catapults at top. So this is, but
they're spread pretty thin.
Yeah, it is. They are, but it's good that Supernova hasn't hit 20. Because if they did, they would have just gone up and contested the boss and maybe even take the boss while they were split up.
But I think some of these, and I think both of these teams are kind of showing their age here. They're showing that they're, in fact, young teams. They're still rookie teams. There's been some lack of decisiveness on both sides. And, it doesn't make for perhaps the highest level play here in Korea, but what it does make is for a very exciting second game. Going to take this nightcap right now. Just trying to take small advantages. Unfortunately, that's not going to push with catapults or anything like that, so it's not going to be too impactful. They have kind of, I almost want to say, dilly-dallied around a little bit here and not pressed their advantage further, so Supernova has 20 now. And that's going to be very impactful for Tal Rosh and also the rewind.
Bunker is actually put down here. It's not looking great.
He's alone?
Yeah, he is. And it's going to happen. He's going to try to keep, KCB is going to keep him alive, but this is the same thing as it happened before. And Junkrat is not even in the fight right now.
No, he's not. Salvo does a lot of damage, but it's not enough. And KCB gets taken out after he's already popped the Scarlet Aegis. The Riptire is just going to tickle everyone. And this should be Supernova just waltzing over down top lane to try to end this map. All they need is a little bit more vision here. And with 50-second death timers, fighting a 5v3 is the way they end this map right now in the later parts of it. GLuck put up a good fight. They had an experience lead for the majority of the late game, but it's all over now.
Yep, there we go. Another Riptire coming in. It's going to tickle them a little bit.
Oh, the damage. Goodbye, Phoenix. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Asgard's going to put up a good fight. No Chat's low on health. They have the catapult here as well defensively, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah. No Chat stays alive. Junkrat trying to do as much as he can here. But it's definitely going down.
Yep, that's going to be the end of game 2. Supernova leading with a strong start here in their second matchup against GLuck. It didn't go their way last time. They fell in that 5th game, but now they're just one map away from completing revenge. And, there were some moments in the early game where the Q build, I think, for Whitemane really hurt them for those first tribute fights. But later on, the Scarlet usage from KCB, the Scarlet Aegis usage, I hate calling it Aegis because there's 2 Aegis heroics in the game now for supports. But anyway, it was used really well. When you think about the bunker armor that's given, all the armor from Garrosh, just baseline, plus her armor, it's tough for Li Ming to actually even damage anybody. But the lack of capitalization on their 20 advantage and their somewhat timidness to fight at the end when everything was against them, I think just gave enough time for Supernova to take one last good fight. And the rotation was mistimed. Blaze was caught, and we saw the late rotation coming up from Maizen on the Junkrat. A few things going wrong there. And like I said, I think they're kind of showing their age, these teams. The fact that they're basically everyone in this list besides Overlord, Maizen, and No Chat are all rookies, right? And it does kind of show.
Yeah, definitely. And, you mentioned about, Blaze getting caught there sometimes. The same goes for Roxer, who was caught in the middle of the game by himself, trying to, their approach to get the vision on, the other side's boss was okay, but don't get picked off, don't get caught, don't force that early bunker from the Blaze. Because that's gonna, that's gonna just allow the other team, the opposing team, Supernova in this case, to just kind of push in there and pull them back, which actually gave them the second curse in this second game. So GLuck had the right idea. They did not kind of execute it the right way.
Exactly. When you're checking for the boss, that's such an important thing to do, and that's the job of usually the main tank. But Blaze can do it very well because he has not only a bit of a charge escape there, but also his bunker if things get real nasty. Buys enough time for everyone to rotate up.
Yep.
So yeah, again, as you said, in concept and theory, correct. Execution, perhaps just going a little bit too far in there.
Yeah.
And especially when Myson on the Junkrat is just a little bit too far away, committing to a fight like that without him instead of just kind of backing off, stepping away. I say that, but at the same time, Supernova kind of forced them in that situation.
Yeah.
It was just a mess in general. But close second game. We are going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to find out if